are you? This is Amy Williams, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you so much for watching. So this is actually take 2 of a video I put on the other day, which was terrible, and I redid it. So just ignore the other one. I am so sorry that the filming was terrible, so I'm going to fix it. It's going to be good this time, I promise. But this is a masking technique that I saw, if you didn't watch the video, the terrible one. This is a masking technique that I kind of made it up. So I saw somebody, I think it was on YouTube, actually just saw a picture of something that somebody had done with watercolors. I don't know how to watercolor. What I do is all fake. I'm not very good at that. So this is not watercoloring, but I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so pretty. How can I do that easier for not knowing how to watercolor or anything like that? So this is what I came up with, and I'm really excited about it. So it is June 7th, 2023. Just so you know, before I forget, Stampin' Up! Is having a paper sale this month, June until June 30th of this month. We have designer series paper that is 15% off, which is a great deal. So if you're interested in that, just go down below to the more description. You can see my website. I would love for you to order with me if you can. So we're going to get started. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. This video was supposed to go on last week. It didn't get on until like yesterday or the next day. But here it is. I'm putting it on now. My husband and I are going out of town, so I won't be here the next 2 Sundays, but I'm going to try to get it that Monday after, like the 19th or something, to get another one on, because I've already got the idea. I've already got the card all designed in my head, but I spent a little too much time shopping this week, get ready for the trip instead of doing this. So I apologize for that, but it's going to be good. So make sure you watch it. All right, here, let me flip the camera and show you what we're going to do today. I am really excited. Here we go. All righty. Oh, I hope that did right. Okay. So here is the card we're going to do today. And you can kind of see that it's kind of shiny because I have gone over it after I finished with clear embossing, and then I embossed the gold. So I'm going to show you this in just a moment. But I also want to show you it not embossed and only in one color. So here's another one I did, and I'll show you some more at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what we're going to do. All right, the first thing that we're going to do, I'm using Night of Navy and Pretty Peacock today. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about masking paper. So this is Stampin' Up's masking paper, and you peel off the back and it's like one great big Post-it note, okay? So what I did for this is I cut this masking paper into 3 strips. So I just cut it like this, okay? Now you don't have to use this punch. If you have a different a die cut that you would like to use, you can absolutely use this. I'm using this Berry and Bough Punch. I love this punch. It's easy. But as I said, if you have a different one, actually on the other cards, some of them I used totally different ones, and I will show you those a little bit later. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up and we're going to stick this in here, and I'm going to go as much to this side as possible, and I'm going to punch it out. I'm going to pull that out. And then I'm going to take this out this way, okay? Then I can put it in the other direction and kind of try to, utilize this absolutely as much as possible. And I found in doing this, try not to have this go through the machine as much as possible, because it can get a little bit stuck in there. So there we go. Okay, I think I can get another one, at least one out of this. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to pull this out. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put these onto a piece of basic white cardstock. And I've already started, and you can see that I have a lot of these on here. okay? And they're layered because we're going to take them off in layers. So let me show you how I did this. So I put some on, and then I'm going to take the back of these off, and you can kind of see this is the hardest part, is getting this little backing off right there. Boom. Just like that, okay? And I'm just layering it right over top of ones I've already done. Now I have this piece of paper at 5.5 by 4.25, and that is bigger than what we need for this this card, but I always like to have it a little bit bigger so that I can cut it down. Maybe there's a little corner I didn't like or something. So I always make it just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to pull that off. Okay, and I'm going to be honest, when I did this the first time, every part of this card argued with me. And today, this card is not arguing, so I feel like I'm in a better place. Okay. Ta-da! All right. Hold on. Gotta make sure I'm getting the right side. Okay. I think if I used the palette side, that might be better. But I am going to try to remember to do it when I'm taking off. All right, let's put one right there. And then I've got one more that I think I want to do right there. Okay. So we're going to do that. All right. And we're going to pull that off. I probably used about almost 20 of these, probably, I would say. So that's, you know, it's a good amount, but it was, you know, fairly simple with the punch. It does take a little bit longer when you're using a die cut machine, because you die cut each one. All right, so I'm using Pretty Peacock, and for some reason that needs to be on this side in my head, and Night of Navy. And that's going to be on this side. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to start with Pretty Peacock. And you know, we want this first layer really saturated. And I usually tell you, oh, tap off, tap off. Don't tap off. Just go right on it, okay? Just go right on it. Because we want this really saturated. And I'm just going to kind of go like this for now. Let's see, let's do a little more here. But we're going to end up blending these colors the whole way through. Like, we're not just going to have a little, you know, we're not going to keep them separated. We're going to let them really blend and do what makes them beautiful together, okay? All right. And this will, you know, the more we put on it, it's going to, oh, look, I got that there. So see? I'm going to go really dark there, and I just fixed that little mistake, okay? There's no mistakes. There's no mistakes. There's just happy little accidents. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to go back in with the Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to go over that, because when you add these two colors together, it really gives you another beautiful, rich green. Now, if you wanted to do this in all, you know, greens or burgundy or whatever, you can. You know, you just choose the color combination you like. I just happen to love these two. Okay, so that is my first layer, okay? Now, I'm going to switch this over to the palette knife. I think that will do me a little better. So what I'm going to do is you're going to start by taking off the top layer. Okay, so this one, I know I did this one at the end, so I'm going to pull that off just like that. Okay, and sometimes it tears. You kind of have to be a little careful. You can see that right there it tore. So I'm going to pull that off, but I want to make sure I'm just getting that bow, right? Okay, so there's that one. I think I'll take this one off. Okay. Again, you kind of want to do it gently, or not if you're me and you're not doing it gently. It's not coming off right. All right, let's see. Okay. And I I'm just seeming to rip this off. So I'm going to just kind of use that palette knife to pull it off. I'll try taking it off from the top next time. We're going to see how that does. Okay, so there is that one. Now this is one that's on top of it. Now I don't want to take that one off yet. All right, so I'm going to take off one more, and that is going to be, let's see, I kind of wanted to do this one, but it's not at the top, so I'm just going to do these two for now. So now I'm going to go in, and this is when you're going to go, oh, a little bit lighter. Okay, but then I'm going to add some of that blue on there. See? Then you get a really nice little shade. And this guy wants to come off, so we're going to go ahead and let this guy come off. Okay, we'll pull him off next. Let's see, hold off with that. I am on the struggle bus right now. There we go. There we go. I said I was going to take it off from the top. Let's see how that works. Nope, it doesn't. So I'm just gonna, now if you want to really take your time and pull this off in one piece and make sure that it is in one piece so you can reuse it, absolutely do that, okay? Don't feel like you can't. All right, I'm gonna take this one off next. Okay, and you're gonna see, oh, look at that, it all came off. All right, you're gonna see as I go with this, how these are gonna darken, okay, and become these layering, I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm not getting the whole thing every time, you know what I mean, with blue, okay? All right, let's see what's gonna come off next. This one, I think, is kind of the next on top. So I'm going to pull this one off gently. Okay. All right, you wanted to stay. Okay. That one's going to stay. There we go. All right, so that one. And then let's take, these don't want to, let's do this one. Let's take this guy off. I think that's the next top. It's kind of hard to see. I'm sure you can't really see it on the camera where they're on the top, you know, but they're there. They're there. All right, let's see. The one thing you don't want to do is let these things go onto the floor, because then they're stuck on your carpet and you have to peel them all up. Not that I know that from personal experience, but I do. I absolutely know it from personal experience, because that's what happened. It was not so fun. And you also may want to consider gloves, because, you know, it's a little messy. All right, so I got most of that one off. All right. You can reuse these two. Obviously not the ripped ones, but if you take your time and really don't let them rip, then you can definitely reuse them. I used a whole set of 2 on each. On the first 2 I did, I only used one set of dies. So let's get this to pull up. Come on. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to do these next. Let's get the Peacock first. And if you want to just keep this all Peacock, you could do that. You wouldn't have to go. Like as you saw on one card, I started out, the first time I did this, I just did it navy. Okay, I just did the navy. And then the second time, the first time was all Peacock. The second time was all navy. And then I went, ooh, what if I used both colors? And that was how this came about. Also thought maybe burgundy would be good. Like you could use berry burst, some things like that, you know, or as I say, all greens. or all blues, really. You could, you know, do, I feel like this gives me a little bit of an under the sea kind of vibe, which may be true. It may not be true. And you can kind of see I had one from below kind of pop up, but really that doesn't matter that much. It's okay. It's, oh, well, that was kind of not good, but this, I'm just going to tear it off. It's okay. Okay. Because it's actually still there. This one I'm going to start with blue. So I'm going to do the blue on the bottom. And then I'm going to do the green on the top. Okay. So you can kind of see how that, just a little bit different, but you want it a little, you want things a little bit different. Okay. So we'll pull this one off because it's coming off. Kind of. Let's see. If I pull it from this side, again, I feel like some of it already may have come off. Oh wait, that goes to this one. Dagnabbit. All right. Okay. Hopefully I'm, wait. Got to make sure I'm still on the camera, huh? Get the camera, Amy. All right, there we go. And then this is part of it. Sometimes just finding which is the hardest part, right? All right, so we're gonna peel that up. And that this is actually, I think, part of another one, which is okay, that's fine. Let's peel this one up. Get one from the other side. And you can see as I pull these up and color them, the other, the ones below it get a little bit darker, which is exactly what we want because it gives you the depth of color that you want, right? All right, so that, and then that. Don't worry, it'll all beautify in the end, okay? It'll be beautiful in the end. Okay, now let's see. I want to pull this one off next, definitely. Pull that off next. All right. Let's see how we do. That came off. And oh, look, I'm going to have a good time of it, all right? Woo! All right, full one right there. And then I'm trying to leave this center one for last. I really want it to come up last because I think it's going to be kind of the centerpiece of the whole thing. So I thought, well, I'll leave that till the end. If I can, we'll see. We'll see what it takes me, where it takes me. All right, there's that. Okay. And let's get the rest of it. A couple of these, I think the color is so saturated on them. I think that's why some of them kind of tear in the middle because I've put so much color on them. But I could be wrong. But I think that's what I think. All right. Get the rest of that. You can see how that kind of tore halfway. All right, and we're going to get this one little bow. Again, you can use any greenery that you have if you want it to be greenery. If you don't want it to be greenery, don't. That's okay. All right, let's go ahead and color those. Okay. Oh, yowzer. I just love the colors of these. And I'm going to go a little lighter starting now. I'm not going to get quite as much color on there, I think. I think that I need to lighten up my color. I am going to end up taking this one off because I think it's the next one that needs to come off. All right, let's get some of that off. Okay, let's see. We'll pull this one off. Let's see. It's funny that I think the other one I used one. The first one I used was from the Paper Florist dies, the leaves in those. And they actually came off easier than these. I don't know why, but they did. So, but I just like the look of these because I like the different sizes of the leaves in this one. I just think it's really, really pretty. All right, we're gonna pull this one off too. Okay, let's see. Pull that. I see that's coming. Only thing you want to make sure when you're using the palette knife or any kind of device, try not to dig into the paper too much. I think I kind of did that once, and I could kind of see it. I'm not sure anybody else would have seen it, but I can. But I think we're all our own worst critics. So there we go. And we're gonna get this little guy. This is, as I say, the hardest part, most tedious part is pulling these off. So if you can get past that, you've got it. And then let's go ahead. I think this one down here needs to come off. Okay. You'd think I'd get better at it, but maybe every time I think I'm getting better, I realize I'm not. Oh, goodness. I just want to be as gentle as possible. This side was already off, so I pulled that. Let's see. I actually love the color that these two colors bring together. I just think it's so pretty. Like I see these that are, you know, off to the side now, and I'm like, oh, that color is so pretty. So anyway, and you can kind of see, and I hope you can see, like the lower ones are getting darker than the lighter ones, obviously. Probably think I'm an idiot for pointing that out. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Now, I used basic white on this part instead of using Very Vanilla, because I did use Very Vanilla on the card, but I was afraid if I used the basic, or if I used the Very Vanilla on this part of it, that it wouldn't give me a true representation of the colors. And that was what I was concerned about. So that is why I used white. If you wanted to use vanilla, you absolutely could. I was just afraid of the color not being quite as true. And so that's why I chose to do that. Okay. So feel free to use vanilla if that's what you want. I was just afraid that just afraid the color wouldn't be quite as true. And I wanted to make sure that I had that really nice, you know, color, you know, I don't know. That's just me. Let's see. Definitely want, and I want to look at these because I want to see which one of these is on top. And it's this one that's on top. So I'm going to take this one off next. Because you don't want to take one from the bottom because then it makes it harder to get off. So you don't want to do that. And you can see you're going to have a little bit of this sticking to you. Okay. A little bit sticking to you. It's all good though. righty. And then let's do this one. This is the last one over on this side. And if I don't try to get ahead of myself and get too fast, which I just did, it might come off easier, but they're not because, all right. All right. Someday I really am going to take a watercoloring class. I think that would be so fun to know. And I watch people, like artists online that, you know, they just take a blank piece of paper and they create something. And I just think that's amazing. I wish I had that talent. I don't. So that's why I love my stamps and that kind of stuff, because I can fake it till I make it with a stamp, right? I'm like, oh, you don't have to be an artist to be a stamper. Anybody can do it. So that's just my opinion, but it's fun to see people when they have never stamped before come over to my house and they'll do something and they're like, oh my goodness, this is so awesome. I love that. That makes me feel so happy. All right, let's see. Let's get these in. I don't know why I'm still starting with that. And you can see I'm kind of trying to go a little lighter because I want these light top ones to be lighter. All right, I see I missed a leaf right here, but that's okay. He's just gonna be lighter, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull the whole rest of what's on here. There's only 3. It's funny, you just can't see them until you pull them off and you're like, oh, there it is. There it is. And when you put it on, if you want to, you know, move the leaves a bit, you can do that. There's just so much play with this. With this technique. I think it's a really fun technique. I don't know if you've noticed, if you watch my channel very often, I really am always looking to do something different. I always try to do maybe something I haven't seen before or something like that, because I don't want to stop, right? I just like to do different things. I like to do stuff I haven't seen before, and that's really always my goal when I'm doing this, is to do something I've never seen before. So that's my goal. Oh boy, am I glad I did this after I got my nails done, because I think they would think I was an idiot. They'd be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with your hands? They're all blue. And I would say, no, they are Night of Navy, and they are pretty peacock. They are not blue. So I don't know if you all are, I think if you use Stampin' Up! Or anything like that, I think of everything in the colors of Stamping Up. So I'm always like, oh, that's a pretty Night of Navy, or, you know, something like that. I always think, oh, that looks like this color, or something like that. And yeah, I just but I see color very strangely. I think sometimes I'm I don't know, I think in color, like when I always, when I did my math centers, like math had to be blue, science had to be green. So anyway, that's just me. But now it would be my Stampin' Up! Colors. I am a librarian now, so I don't have to do that. I don't do centers much anymore. So it's a totally different world in the library. Oh, it looks like there's a little bit of another one over here, which is fine. We're gonna get it off. Yeah, that's okay. There was a little bit left, but that's okay. We can still I think that this is a very forgiving technique. So if you do miss something, you can take it off, and I don't really think anybody would notice, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, so there is the last of what I have on there. I'll just kind of feel it and make sure. And so I'm going to do my last bit of rubbing. And I want these to kind of be the lightest because I want them to look, I don't know, the lightest, right? Like that depth. I say that, I just did that really dark, but that's okay. Okay, so this is what I have when I am done, okay, which I love. Now, when I first started this technique, this is where I stopped, and I added my gold embossing, but my friend and upline, Sharon Armstrong, said, ooh, did you put Versamark over that? And I was like, no, but I'm gonna. So that is what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna move these out of the way, and I'm gonna get my clear embossing powder, okay? So I've got this. Now, ideally, if you were doing this, you would wait until this was completely dry. I am not an ideally kind of person, so I am just going to put this straight on. Okay, I want this completely covered with Versamark. Okay, and I'm going to use my clear embossing powder. I'm going to try to pull this up as easily as possible. Now, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go like this, okay? And I'm going to shoo it down just like that. All right, and there's a lot on here, and I'm actually not upset about that, okay? I think the more the merrier. I'm gonna actually do it twice. I'm gonna see if I can get, let's get that. I'll get a little bit more on there because I just want it to be completely doused in powder. All right, I want a nice, good coat of powder. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the ground, or on the table. I'm going to close up my Versamark before I do that. And I'm going to get my heat gun out, okay? And I'm going to heat this. And you're going to see in just a minute, sorry. It's going to start, do you see how immediately it starts to do that? Oh, I love it. And I think this just makes these colors completely pop. So I love this look. Now you could actually emboss this 2 or 3 times if you wanted to get it really, a really thick sheen. I'm only going to do it once because, well, we don't want to be here until tomorrow. I'll be here until tomorrow. And then I go to Canada. So excited. My husband and I are taking a cruise from Boston around to Montreal and Quebec, and I am so excited. And look how those colors just glow. Isn't that so pretty? I want to make sure I have everything done. Make sure my corners are done. Oh, I just love that. Now, I'm not going to stop there, actually. I am going to go with another stamp set, and I am using Dainty Delight Cling Set, and I'm going to use this one right here. You can use any of them, but I'm going to use that, and I'm going to be embossing this again with gold this time, okay? So I'm going to bring back my embossing pad, and I'm going to stamp this. And what I'm going to do, though, is because you can't really see this Versamark on here really at all. So I'm going to put it on there, okay? Then I'm going to take it over here and put my gold embossing powder on there, okay? So then I can just kind of see where it is. All right, because you can't see it. All right, so I'm going to do one like this. And then I'm going to pull it up. Now, if you want to go ahead and emboss these each time, you can. But I worry about doing that, mainly because you're embossing onto already embossed things. So I will admit these spread a bit more than they normally would when you emboss the gold, okay? Because there's already a layer of embossing on there. So it kind of melts in there, I think. Okay. And then I'm going to get crazy and I'm going to do two because I'm doing the totally other side. Ta-da. Okay. So I'm going to do two. This one. And that one. Let's see. I think I got all of that. And then one thing I like about this, once it's already embossed, you kind of don't see the, you don't get the extra pieces. You know how sometimes when you're embossing something, you kind of get the little dots that want to stay on there? Well, this comes off pretty well. Okay, so that's good. I've got all of my gold on there. Again, I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to get my heat tool back out and do this again. Now, you want to make sure that you're heating it, but you don't want to heat it too long. As soon as you start to see that gold, move on. Don't stay too long, because you want to make sure that it doesn't, spread too much. It's going to spread, definitely going to spread, because it's melting into that clear, okay? But you just don't want to get too much, right? All right, let's see. Sorry, you're seeing my hands there. I'm gonna do, okay. And I think that's all done. Again, you don't have, the exact precise lines, but I just think that is so, so pretty. Now, I'm going to cut this down a bit, because remember I said that it's bigger than what I need. I really need it to be 4 3/4. So I'm going to cut this by 3.5, and I think I'm going to cut off a little bit of this side and then a little bit of this side. I hope I did that right, but I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, so then I've got this. Isn't that just lovely? I love it. All right, I'm going to put this onto some Very Vanilla. You could use basic white. I just liked, there's something about gold and Very Vanilla that just, I think, look beautiful together. And that's dirty, so we're going to use that. All right, put that on there like that. And then I'm going to add this onto a piece of Pretty Peacock. Like that. And I wanted to use the Very Vanilla there because I wanted this to kind of pop out. And then I'm going to put this onto Night of Navy. So we've got our 2 colors represented in paper because I always like to do that. And then I've got one for the inside because this definitely has to have an inside piece. Alrighty, so there's that. Now I have used Timeless Arrangements. It's a great, great set. And so I went ahead and made this. I really appreciate you. I put it on, I heat embossed it, but I put it on this distressed gold. I don't know if you've seen that, but it is such a lovely, lovely paper. And I'm going to put that right here. Okay, I'm going to put it on this side. And I think, yeah, let's go ahead and use some dimensionals on that because, well, why not, right? Why not? And mine are about out, so I'm going to cut that. Always make sure you use these edges. They're absolutely usable, so don't waste those at all. I really appreciate you. I'm going to put that just like this. And for this, I used the punch that I always use that I can't find right now. Hold on. Ah, there it is. This one right here, you get 2 for the price of 1. I love this set. I love this punch. I use it probably more often than I should. And then I used this ribbon. I made a little bow with that ribbon. And I'm going to put that on with a glue dot, if I can find a glue dot. That is the question. There's my glue dots. So I'm going to get these out, and I'm just going to pull one up, and I'm going to put it on there just like that. Okay, that pulled off. Now I'm going to also put one on this, okay, because I am going to put that here, and I'm going to put that, let's see, I want to get it right on here. I want to get it partly onto the paper, because that embossing can, you know, it doesn't always want to stick to the embossing. So I'm going to put one more right there and then put that there. So there's my card. Okay, I decided to do a bow on this one. This time on this one, I did the brushed metallic dots. And then on this one, I didn't do anything. Okay, this was all pretty peacock, and it is not, this part is not embossed. So you can kind of see that. Again with this one. These two I did with the paper florist dies. All right. And then this one I did, you can see the leaves are a bit different, and that is with the Wonderful Garden, I think it is. Let me make sure here. Hold on. Let me get my catalog out really quick because I wanted to see. Oh, yeah, Gorgeous Garden. I took this and die cut it, and then I just cut pieces of it to use here. All right, and so I did different layers of that. I think I ended up using 2 full die cuts of that to do this one. So this one I think took about 16 or 17, the same as these. So I hope this video was a little better than last time. I appreciate you watching. Please reach out to me if you have any questions at all. I am always here for you. I hope you have a fantastic week. I will see you in about a week and a half. So have a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye.